Amy Robach claims that she is delaying blood work out of fear of a recurrence of breast cancer. After being diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer in 2013, Amy Robach has been hesitant to get blood tests. In Thursday's most recent episode of the Amy and TJ podcast, Robach, 51, said that her most recent blood testing was completed in August 2022. In a podcast interview with Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center oncologist Dr. Elizabeth Kamen, Robach said that she neglected to have blood tests done in February 2023 because to the media attention surrounding her and boyfriend TJ Holmes' relationship at the time. The former host of Good Morning America said, "Yes, it was the last thing on my mind, but we were going through our hell." Robach underwent a live mammography on GMA, after which she was informed of her cancer diagnosis. Before undergoing her last round of treatment in April 2014, she had 8 rounds of chemotherapy and a double mastectomy. She went on to explain her reasoning for delaying the blood work. "I think anyone who has survived this knows that when you go in for the blood work, it's very emotional, because you're literally they're looking for tumor markers is what they're looking for. Therefore, you would assume that you would obtain a blood test that would indicate a tumor marker, which would suggest that you would be facing then a terminal but manageable, but eventually a fatal cancer, if the disease were to return in the areas you don't want it to, like breast cancer, bones, liver, lungs, and brain. Therefore, I believe that the concern is that if you adopt this perspective, I won't want to know. I prefer not to know," she continued. "Anyway, there won't be any difference. When you start thinking like way, you could use it as an excuse to avoid painful or frightening situations, like having to see the doctor or the NYU Cancer Center again," Robach said. The 46-year-old Holmes clarified, saying, "I've certainly covered breast cancer. Individuals with breast cancer are individuals I know. I've recently fallen in love with a breast cancer survivor, but I've always been concerned by and afraid of it, right? And all I'm hearing is that this lady I've been through all of this with isn't doing everything in her power to make sure we spend as much time together as possible," he went on to say. "Does it make sense?" Robach concurred with Holmes' assessment, acknowledging that it was selfish of her to put off doing the tests.